Get your kid gloves on, Eva. We've got a VIP in the building, and as prisoners go, they don't get much more very important than this.
You arrested the Pope?
You'll wish. Lady Penelope Healy Henderson, store detective at Rossendale's, caught her with a ton's worth of designer undies in her coat pocket.
Well, just because she's a lady, that doesn't make her important.
Well, it does when she's married to Sir Tristan Healy Henderson, former High Sheriff of North Midlands, ex-mayor of Lethbridge, biggest pillar of the community. Oh, and bestest friends with the area chief super.
I hope you're not suggesting she gets special treatment.
Oh, absolutely not. Everything within the due processes of the law, naturally. Sensitively handled is the word from the cockpit.
Not by me. Wrong choice of officer. So...
choice don't come into it. The gentle touch, Eva. You see, I need someone with womanly charm, tact, sensitivity. And Perkins is in bed with the flu, so that leaves you. Spit it out.
Posh bird getting special treatment. You'd have thought they learnt the lesson from the Havley case.
And I'd have thought you'd learnt your lesson about being a clever dick. A word in your shell-like, Detective Inspector. You're a good copper. But just because you were right didn't make you popular. Now, you don't want to get yourself a reputation for being difficult, now do you? Unless you plan on staying at DI for the foreseeable future, that is.
This is well out of order.
It happens, get over it. Now, one of these days it could be you, or one of yours. I bet you won't be moaning about special treatment then. Are you receiving me, Eva?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, I always said you'd go far. Now, the good news is that the store CCTV was down, so that's one less thing to lose down the back of a sofa. I'm only joking. Now, quick as you can, if you don't mind, and preferably before his nibs gets here. Someone at the store tipped off the press and is not best pleased by all accounts. Now, worst case scenario, she must be bonkers, God bless her. The courtesan ultimate fantasy range. Yeah, well, not I was paying much attention.
So?
You just wait till you meet her.
Lady Healy Henderson, I'm D.R. Moore.
Call me Penny, please.
The custody sergeant tells me that you've declined the services of a solicitor.
The less people who know, the better. I'd rather my husband didn't find out about this.
I believe the store's already told him. I think he's on his way.
Well, I suppose that was inevitable.
These are serious charges. I strongly recommend that you have a solicitor. Lady Healy Henderson? Shoplifting and carry a jail sentence? Do you want to go to prison?
No, of course not.
Then I'll call the duty solicitor and we can get started.
I've decided I'm going to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
If you could confine yourself to answering the questions put to you.
I'm sorry.
For the purposes of the tape, I'm showing Lady Healy Henderson a bag containing matching brief and bra from the Courtesan Ultimate Fantasy range. Do you recognise these?
I was admiring them in the lingerie department. Such beautiful workmanship. I did rather wonder what they'd look like on.
But they're not even your size.
But I was in rather a rush. Mind you, Tristan's always saying that I'm too scrawny and I should put some weight on. I don't suppose a diet of porridge will help much on that score.
Interview stopped at 14:25 for a short break.
Oh, well, we've only just started.
We don't have any CCTV footage, which basically means it's your word against that of the store detective. So I suggest you think very carefully about what you're going to say.
Having him moping about the house all day is hardly ideal. He needs to get back to some sort of normality.
Oh, it's early days yet.
Exactly. One step at a time.
Oh, send him my love.
Will do. See you later. House calls.
What you got there?
Roasted red pepper and halloumi on sun-dried tomato focaccia. You?
Cheese. So,
Daniel... Sorry.
I just wondered what you're up to tonight.
Nothing for the rest of 2008, according to my diary.
You Fancy going for a drink, then?
Yeah, great. The others coming?
No, just thought, you know...
Yeah, great. Okay. That's a huge relief for Joe. Daniel. Although, you know, he's still got his GMC hearing.
Well, no, I didn't know, actually. I don't think Joe would appreciate you blabbermouthing about his family like this.
Blabbermouthing? He didn't tell me not to.
By all accounts, Daniel is well dodgy, and here you are treating him like the returning hero.
Try to define well dodgy.
Where do I start? Lying, stealing money, getting you taken hostage.
Daniel had a gambling addiction. It doesn't make him a bad person.
Yeah, whatever.
Addiction is an illness. As a health professional, you of all people should understand that.
Well, from what I've heard, that's not his only problem.
And you call me a blabbermouth. You don't know anything, Archie Hallam, and you certainly don't know Daniel.
Yeah, well, I don't think I want to.
And you can stuff your drink.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, are you coming over to mine tonight?
Oh, I've still got a flat full of boxes to unpack.
Yeah, well, I've made dinner, moussaka.
Oh, that sounds ambitious. Look, I'll send Lady Blah Blah in, but you should know that her husband's some VIP, so we've been asked to handle it sensitively.
I've heard. So, when you say sensitively, I hope you've told him that I'm the police surgeon, not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Look, it's the Chief Super's words, not mine. Don't shoot the messenger.
You're not going along with it?
I'm not going along with anything.
I can't believe you, of all people, getting involved with a cover-up.
It's a bit over the top, isn't it? Look, all I'm saying is, if there's the slightest hint that she's unsound, we need to know about it.
Is everything okay, or are you being leaned on?
No more than usual. Could talk later.
Eva! Now, what's taking you so long? I thought you'd have sent her home with a cake and a goodie bag by now.
I got the doctor to examine her.
Not going too well, then.
It's not exactly going to plan, though.
Well, never fear. So long as he finds her nuttier than a bag of dry roasted, it's sorted.
If he plays ball.
What do you mean, if? I thought you two were having it off. Well, so says the rumour mill. Whatever happened to feminism?
You're crossing the line there, sir.
Oh, yes, D.I. Moore, I am. And I apologise unreservedly for that sexist, un-PC and probably illegal comment. Does that do you?
It'll have to, won't it, sir?
Good. Now, off you go and start behaving like any normal woman and make sure you get your own way. Huh? Chop, chop.
You're not going to like this, but I say she's fit for interview.
You're joking?
She's quiet, but apart from that, she seemed totally lucid and in control.
What's she playing at?
Well, that's your job to find out. I've done mine. More to the point, why would you want to cover up for her?
Look, I'll pick my own battles, thank you. Trust me, this one isn't worth fighting.
Superintendent Rugg, pleasure to meet you, sir.
It isn't reciprocated. What on earth do you lot think you were doing?
Well, your wife was detained by a store detective, so to that extent it was out of our hands, but we are making every effort to get this resolved. This is D.I. Moore's handing case.
Shall I fetch Mr. Bennett? Your wife's solicitor.
Not anymore, he isn't. Any brief worth his salt would have had this tied up by now. I'll represent her myself. I am still qualified to practice, you know, unless you have any objections.
Oh, I'm sure that would be in order, D.I. Moore.
Fine, sir.
Boom.
Hi.
What are you skulking around out here for?
Oh, I was just passing, wondered if Joe fancied a cup of coffee, but his mobile's switched off.
Well, most visitors ask at reception, and they would have told you that he's on house calls all day.
Yeah, it's reception I'm worried about. Mine. In there, less than rapturous.
Oh, right, yeah. They all hate you.
Yeah, I don't suppose I could tempt you out for a coffee, could I?
Sorry, patience in 5 minutes.
Well, how about a drink later? I could apologise for getting you kidnapped.
You apologised at Christmas.
Go on, just the one. Please. I could really do with the company. You got plans?
No. No, actually. A drink sounds lovely.
Interview resumed at 15:57. D.I. Moore and D.C. Keller presiding. Also present.
Penny Healy-Henderson.
Sir Tristan Healy-Henderson.
The latter is replacing Mr. Bennett as legal representative. Can you confirm for the tape that you agree to this?
Of course she agrees, don't you?
Yes.
Lady Healy-Henderson, this afternoon in Rosendale's...
You still haven't explained what you were doing there. This afternoon was supermarket shopping, followed by your swim.
I didn't go swimming.
I think I'll ask the questions.
Why not? You were supposed to swim this afternoon after taking the suits in. It's not the first time, is it?
I fail to see the relevance of this. If we could move on. The store detective alleges he found these in your coat pocket. Can you tell me how they got there?
Objection.
This isn't a courtroom.
Is that what she's supposed to have taken? Now, does my wife look like a woman who would wear tarts knickers? She wears white underwear, and she certainly wouldn't get it from Rosendale's. Not at those prices.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Have you seen the time? I wouldn't mind dinner on the table at some point tonight. So, if you wouldn't mind telling the police officer...
Would you please stop shouting at your wife, or I'll have you removed from this interview room?
I beg your pardon?
I will have you removed. Nobody deserves to be spoken to like that, especially not in one of my interviews.
So, if you wouldn't mind telling the police officer that it was all a mistake, then maybe we can get out of here.
Maybe you'd like to tell me what happened in your own words.
I don't deserve to be spoken to like that.
Will you just get on with it?
I can't say that it was all a mistake, not without lying. I did take them. I meant to take them.
Don't be absurd.
I took them. And I took this and, yes, these. Oh, and this. Isn't this pretty? I'm afraid that I'm what you might call a serial shoplifter.
Hi. Mrs. Wells, this way, please.
It was planted. She doesn't wear lipstick. I don't even like women who wear lipstick. Now, where did all this come from? Did somebody plant it on you? Is that thing still on? Switch it off. I want this interview stopped now.
This is my interview, and I'll end it if and when I see fit.
I am guilty and I accept my punishment. Was that clear enough?
Perfectly.
Am I going to call the medic, or are you?
Your wife has already been examined by the police surgeon.
Then he can do it again, now.
I am not mad. It's been 35 years, Tristan, and I need a rest.
Hello.
Hi.
I shouldn't have called you a blabbermouth. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
So, about tonight.
Oh, I'm doing something. I thought after,
I thought your diary was clear.
well, something came up. It's just a drink with a friend.
Anyone I know?
No.
Another time then?
Sure.
What do you mean, just a caution? It's an admission of guilt, man. And what if the press get hold of it?
Well, let's hope it won't come to... Dr. Clay, you examined Lady Healy Henderson earlier today.
Yes, and in my opinion, she was fit for interview.
Then. Fit for interview then.
As you are aware, Doctor, anything said or done by the detainee whilst in detention may be considered unreliable in subsequent court proceedings because of the mental state of said detainee.
He's entitled to a second opinion.
I don't have time for all that. We'll be here all night. He wasn't even there. You don't need a doctor to see the woman's lost her marbles. Now, I want her re-examined, and I want it done properly this time, or you will never work for the police force again. Do I make myself clear?
How have you heard the latest? Old lady what's-her-name's only one of Leatherbridge's most wanted. Our clear-up rate's going through the roof.
You're avoiding me.
Oh, I was just filling him in.
You've seen it all, Collins. What's your opinion?
Woman like that, on a one-woman crime spree. Gotta be a cry for help.
What happened with Rogue?
What do you think?
Welcome to my world.
I expect he wants you to say I'm mentally unbalanced.
Well, your behaviour does seem irrational.
That depends on your perspective. If prison were preferable to home, then my behaviour would make perfect sense.
There are organisations that can help women who...
I'm not a battered wife. Tristan doesn't have to resort to violence to get his own way. He is, however, very tiring. Did you get it?
Yes.
8:30 breakfast. AM housekeeping, bottle bank, garden. 12:45 lunch. PM dry cleaners, swim. He's got your entire day mapped out.
Every day for the last 35 years. He worries that I won't make efficient use of my time.
10 p.m.
Sex. I had rather hoped that that side of things would tail off with age, but you doctors have got a lot to answer for. There's a pill for everything these days, it seems. So, when you asked me if I wanted to go to prison, it struck me that if I told the truth, I could be sleeping on my own tonight.
But even if you get charged, you're still certain to get bail until the trial.
Not if I'm likely to reoffend. And I will, if you let me go at the very first opportunity. The custody sergeant was most helpful on that score. Look, if it helps speed things up, the reason I stole is because my husband is desperately mean. Miserly, in fact. I get cash for housekeeping, but I have to show him the receipts, and he'd never let me have those things. And I like to feel pretty and feminine. Not in front of him, but when I'm alone. It's amazing how a dab of scent and an extortionately expensive lipstick can make me feel like I'm someone that I'm not. Sounds rather pathetic now I say it. Pure escapism, of course. Anyhow, I did get caught, and of course I was going to deny it, but then you asked me if I wanted to go to prison, and it suddenly struck me. All those hours locked up with nothing to do except read my book and be alone with my thoughts. Regular meals. Hardly haute cuisine, but perfectly adequate, I should imagine. And I expect there'll be a gym. I could even do a course. Do you think I'll be there long enough to do an A-level?
You make it sound like a holiday.
Well, it would be for me.
Thanks. The custody officer tells me you haven't eaten.
Thank you. I couldn't before, but suddenly I'm starving. Confession must be good for the stomach as well as the soul.
Can I ask you something?
Why didn't I leave him? Wouldn't have known where to start. Nowhere to go. No real friends. I haven't even got my own bank account.
I was going to ask why you married him.
I was pregnant. People don't have to do that anymore, do they? Stay together for the sake of a baby.
Not always.
I doubt he was intending to marry me. Always saw me as a cut beneath him, you see. And then afterwards I realized that, well, let's just say he regarded our union as more of an acquisition than a merger. Do you think I'm stupid?
Sooner or later, you're going to have to stand up to him.
Isn't that what I'm doing?
He's just saying as you or I.
And admitting it'll bring the wrath of Rug down on both of us. Not to mention the ACS and Sir Shout a lot.
Well, it's worse for you because I've still got the day job, but you can reject that if you like. Insist on a second opinion. Wouldn't be hard to find a rent-a-shrink to back you up. I'll support you, whatever.
Thanks. Don't really have a choice, do I? The property of Rosendale's Limited,
Have you
section
gone
1 and 7
stark
of the
raving mad?
Theft Act 1968.
We'll see about this.
Do you understand the charges?
Yes.
Have you anything to say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can't charge my wife. She's unbalanced. You hear me? Unbalanced.
If you could just calm down. Your wife's admitted her guilt. I had no choice.
I want DCI Rugg and the chief superintendent down here right now. In fact, I'll get them myself.
Let me help you with that. Cheers.
He's got high blood pressure. I do hope he isn't going to have a stroke.
You have to talk to him.
And say what, exactly?
The truth. Tell him what you told me.
I can't.
Well, then you haven't resolved anything. If you don't confront him now, you're never going to be free of him. Is that what you want?
I just want to rest. And after... Well, I haven't really thought that far ahead.
You have to make him understand why you're doing all this, otherwise, what's the point of it all?
I should speak to him alone.
I don't think that's a good idea.
He won't hurt me. I think he even loves me. In his own way.
I've spoken to the chief superintendent and demanded a full investigation. I don't know what you think you were playing at.
Tristan, do stop it. Stop it now before you have a stroke.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to explain, but in order for that to happen, you have to shut up and listen. For once in your life, just shut up and listen. Oh, that's better.
Being in debt to my ex-partner is a small price to pay considering the alternative. Joe was great. He sent money, called once a week and visited when he could.
Was it awful?
I won't be going back. Fancy another? Oh, go on. This is the first time I've been out since... well, for too long.
Same again, please.
Bye on, guys.
All that time? Why didn't you say anything?
I'm scared of you. Everybody is if you did but notice it.
What about dinner?
You're going to have to fend for yourself for a while.
Does that mean after it's over, you're going to come home?
I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it.
I might have escaped a prison sentence by the skin of my teeth, but there's still the GMC hearing.
Well, you got to see that as a positive thing. Get it out the way, get back to work, you can pay off your debt. I'm not going to strike you off.
Yeah, but they will pick me apart. The competence, professionalism, my whole life under the microscope. And I'm not sure that I can stand up to that closer scrutiny.
You're not going to do another runner, are you?
Of course not.
I'll be making a full report to both DS Rugg and... Oh, well, thank heavens that's over.
How about I run you a bath, you have a soak while I cook dinner? Sound good?
First part does.
You can fill me in on your bad day.
Where are you off to? Sensitively handled, I said. Kid gloves, I said. So, if either of you two lovebirds could explain how that turned into 5 counts of theft, a further 90 offences to be taken into consideration, and a bail refusal, then I am all ears.
She's guilty, she's sane, and she's confessed to 95 verified counts of shoplifting. What was I supposed to do?
Well, luckily for both of you, his Nibs has just spoken to the ACS, and for some inexplicable reason, he's declared himself satisfied with the way you handle things. Are you going to tell me how you managed it?
Womanly charm, tact and sensitivity, sir.
Well, whatever it was, it got you off the hook.
It got you and me both off the hook. Sir.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for the drink.
No, really, I mean it. I need all the friends I can get at the moment. How about I see you home?
Oh, it's all right. I live on the other side of town. Oh. Sorry. I mean, I would love to. I really would love to. I mean, you're so lovely and everything. It's just that...
There's somebody else.
What makes you say that?
Well, I never lose out unless there's somebody else.
So it's the first time?
Is there somebody else?
Mind your own business.
5 minutes, OK?
Yeah, I'm done.
Actually, do you want this on the sofa?
Yeah, thanks.
Me and Amanda never cut much.
That explains a lot.
Feeling better?
Not really, no.
I'm sorry, which hospital?
St Phil's. Temp. Come on.
I'll be needing that.
I hope you're hungry, Dr. West.
Afraid not.
I've got Battenberg! New year, new term at Waterloo Road tonight at 8. Next this afternoon on BBC1, it's Neighbours.